So hello and welcome to The Danger of Silence. For those of you who don't remember, which you probably don't, I am Hannah Longley. I am the Clinical Director of Advocacy and Crisis Intervention here at NAMI Maine. And I have a special guest today that I'm so excited about. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Ambrose Ward, and I've been the person behind the podcast ever since they first started. I've been editing, recording, stuff like that, and Hannah wanted me to sit in front of the camera for once.
Well, it's the man, the myth, the legend here. I think you cut yourself out when we're like giving you direction, being
Yeah.
like, please don't use that. But I think your name came up in the blooper reel for how many times we're like, Ambrose, cut that. Just cut that.
Yeah, I think it did come out a few times.
Yeah. So you have been with us for a little while now.
Yeah, I think since June, I think, 2023.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm doing my math. It's not. I'm a social worker. Math's not my strong suit. So that's like 7 months.
Yeah, a little bit over
8
half a
But
year.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how have you liked your time with us so far?
Oh, I've been loving it, especially with like being back and forth from college. It's very nice to have something where it's like kind of concrete, where it's like no matter what, I know that I have this going on, where it's both Maine and New Hampshire. But yeah, I love it so much. Nicole, who is our director, actually, we've been talking about me after I graduate taking up a full-time position. Yeah.
So we get to keep you.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Mm-hmm. At least for like a year to see how it goes.
Give us a little bit more of a trial run. Like part-time, we're okay. Full-time.
Yeah, full-time, we'll see how a year goes.
Okay. That is completely fair. Absolutely. So you said you're back I know this, but other people don't. You said you're back and forth from New Hampshire and in school, you're getting ready to graduate. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I go to St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire. I study communications and professional and creative writing. A lot of my stuff that I do at New Hampshire is very much focused on what's going on here, just like audio and visual stuff. But I'm also involved in a lot of groups on campus. Probably two of the most important is our Active Minds group and Mental Health Committee. And that's what really kind of pushed me into looking at NAMI Maine for a position during the summer. And just kind of with college and how stressful it can get and how much is like piled onto students' plates, I found it really important with the Mental Health Committee and Active Minds to kind of acknowledge that mental health is an important thing to talk about, especially when you're young and you're in college and things like that.
That's awesome. Do you mind giving us a little bit of a descriptor about what Active Minds and the Mental Health Committee are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just basically each one's just a small group of students on campus, and we dedicate ourselves to kind of starting up the conversations about mental health and kind of how can people and students and professors and teachers, how can we start to talk about that and bring it into the classrooms and address it other than just sweep it under the rug. And we do a lot of just kind of handing out tabling events. One of the things we do is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's like they're like scrunchies, but then they unfold and you can put them on on top of a drink so that people can't like roofie you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm old, Ambrose. I'm not that old.
Well, we ordered a bunch of those and we hand them out before any break or any big holiday on campus, just because one of the things the Mental Health Committee realized was even though at colleges drinking and underage drinking is a very important problem, we believed that roofing and the date rape drug and things like that were creating worse problems. And we figured we might as well address something that's not a giant concern to kind of try and fix something that is a very big concern for us.
And, I'm just speaking from personal experience, but, that's something that can cause significant amount of anxiety. And it is a step that can be taken to control the situation, which can help to control the anxiety.
Yeah.
So well done. Well done. What got you involved in those groups?
Oh man. Honestly, when I first got to college, I was just kind of like looking for groups to join. But I think when I was in high school, um, I first started seeing a therapist when I was about a sophomore, due to some like mental health issues that I had been kind of like learning about myself and learning about my family. But that was kind of opening the door for me, and I kind of just started to learn more about mental health and how to treat it and how to kind of live with it. And I learned more through out watching videos or listening to podcasts or stuff like that that talked about it. And once I got to college and I found out there was a group for it, I knew that I really wanted to be a part of it.
What's been your favorite part of it? Because I mean, you're in your senior year now, so 4 years now. What's
Yeah.
been your favorite? I always ask my kids, "What was your favorite part of your day?" So what's been your favorite part of being a member of those groups?
Ooh, man, it's kind of a hard question.
Okay, you can do more than one.
I think I think the first thing that comes to mind, really for my favorite thing about being a part of those groups is probably just kind of meeting with other students who are also passionate about mental health and who are also passionate about kind of like spreading the word and trying to end the stigma around mental health. And I think just kind of working together and being able to collaborate with those other people has really been it's been a great experience.
Really helps to decrease the isolation and all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
hmm
It's always, and it's always, for me, it's always like hope and like connection
Yeah.
and all of that. What would you say was been maybe if you were going to have to pick out the biggest barrier or struggle or
Mm.
maybe an unexpected challenge throughout the course of it? Because you guys are trying to do a lot of really awesome,
hmm
awesome stuff that not everyone comes along at the same pace.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think probably the most challenging thing would, I think it'd probably have to be something along the lines of just probably like, trying to think of how to phrase this.
I mean, you are the one who does the editing, so you can
Yeah,
just say it
exactly.
and then cut it out where you want it to be.
Yeah, I could even voice over at home.
Yes.
I don't know. I think probably the most difficult thing or the biggest barrier is kind of with me being a part of it, it kind of puts me in the limelight, and I'm a very like shy, private person. So kind of being right out in front of everyone when addressing something that's this serious and that's this important, I think that stresses me out a lot and it gets me anxious. But I think a lot of it is just kind of getting over it and kind of understanding that like it's the anxiety that I'm feeling about speaking in front of people. It's not the anxiety I'm feeling about whatever else. I just have to kind of address it and get it over with. Or at least that's how I like to see it.
So you love the fact that I put you on the spot and
Yeah,
dragged you
yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, because I think you are just such an amazing young person. And so before you went back to school, I wanted to snag you and drag you out.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to forgive me for this. So kind of going along with that, what has been the most unexpected part of your journey at school, in high school, you had school here?
Um oh man. I think I think probably the most unexpected part is just kind of where I ended up after like certain things, cuz I going into college, I was very much like I want to go to college and try and get an internship at a news station or something like that. But then after my first year, I ended up working at a restaurant, and then after my second year, I like worked at a newspaper, and then after my third year, I worked here. So it was kind of, I think the most interesting thing was like being brought to so many different groups and then learning different skills and new aspects about each group that I was a part of.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your biggest takeaway from our group?
Oh, what is my biggest takeaway from this group? Probably the biggest thing I've taken away from here is, especially with like in regards to mental health and what we talk about and stuff like that, is it's not an individual problem. It's very much like if there is a problem, you shouldn't really be scared to ask for help. Like here, especially when I first started out, I knew like nothing about how to work the printers or anything like that. So I would just kind of like find somebody's office and pop my head in and ask for help. And it's always kind of worked out.
Have you mastered the printer yet? I've been here 5.5 years and I still haven't fully mastered it.
No,
Okay,
I haven't.
good.
I came back from being at college and I forgot my printer password, the PIN, everything. So I've asked Nicole to be my printing person.
Your printing partner.
Yeah.
Well, and understanding that I put you on the spot, I have other questions I want to ask you, but I also want to be respectful and all of that. You do know through this podcast, because you watch all of them, do you have a favorite out of all of the groups and the programs?
Oh.
Or at least a favorite episode, maybe a favorite episode.
A favorite episode? That's a good question. I think my personal favorite episode, because of the content, was Devin and Hannah's one about scary movies, just because.
Mine too. It was so good.
It was very good, and I love scary movies. I wrote my thesis on it. I watch them like every weekend. So I kind of like eat, sleep, and breathe scary movies. So I loved listening to that one. But I also found yours and Dave's about kind of getting outside and getting like mental health support through just nature was very interesting, because that's also like a big thing. Like a lot of people just kind of are like, I have to go outside today because of my mental health.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we kind of minimize what self-care actually is, or we don't think about what like small things we can do for self-care.
Yeah.
So basically you're saying The Danger of Silence is your favorite.
Yeah, of course. The Danger of Silence is my favorite podcast.
It's not a competition, but so in watching all of them, we do fun facts. Everyone who's on our Danger of Silence has to do a fun fact at the end. I will do my fun fact first, because I very clearly just outed myself that everything's not a competition, but if it was, I want to win it.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive by nature. Usually it serves me well. I always say like about 90 to 95% of the time it serves me really well in life. There's that 5 to 10% where it probably isn't the best thing, but
yeah.
And then I see it in my children. I'm like, oh, it's really not always a good thing.
Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
I think for my fun fact, is so I used to play. Do you know lacrosse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of lacrosse when I was in high school, and I
just want to, although we graduated multiple years apart, we went to rival high schools.
We did.
And then by multiple, I mean a long time apart. No one has to comment on that in the comments, but my high school always used to beat his. We were huge rivals, and we beat them in hockey, and we beat them in lacrosse when I was there, just saying.
Not when I was in high school. But I actually ended up, so I was a defender, and there was one game where someone was about to score on our net, so I went to go and hit him, but my right thumb got caught in their jersey and like bent all the way back. So now I can show you, I can't bend my right thumb.
Oh.
It's just been stuck like that since my sophomore year of high school.
Have you seen anyone about that?
Oh yeah, I went to like
checking.
2 years of physical therapy to try and get it fixed.
And they still?
Yeah.
What do they think happened? A little bit. You got a little bit there with a little bit of a shake?
Yeah, but that's it.
Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed.
Okay, all right.
So that's why I have really bad handwriting too.
Huh.
Yeah. Fun fact.
That's a great fun fact. I mean, it's not great for you. I'm sorry, that sounded wrong. But that's a great fun fact.
Yeah.
I never would have noticed all the times we've interacted.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Like, no one ever notices. Because it's not like you're ever looking at someone's thumb.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really, like, when you think about all the things you use it for.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
It is.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for sharing your fun fact.
Of course.
Now I feel like anyone who